You elected a chair too soon.
So if, I'm just curious, if, so if these two are not here, do one of the other ones of us have to stand up and take their place?
Yeah,
Right,
that's what the
whoever the
secretary.
secretary
You,
is.
you have to. No, but
You-
even if there's no secretary,
If there's no secretary, technically the applicant can say, I don't want the meeting.
can say what?
They don't want the meeting held without officers present.
I think that's a great plan.
So, and this, whoever opts to be nominated and accept the secretary position, later on in the meeting, I'll talk about something else that will assist this. So there's no real major, and both Ernie and Pat are very good with following proper protocol.
Right.
You know I will not let you do something you shouldn't do.
And to be quite honest right now, Pat, we've got a board of 4. If 2 of us aren't here, we're not having a meeting anyway because we don't
Right.
even have a quorum. So until we fill the board, we're
Correct.
pretty much, we don't need to worry about a secretary position.
Well, and also your secretary position, if they could take it for now, when the other 3 members come on, you can offer it to them, that person would step down if they didn't want to continue doing it. It's not like this position is a year-long position. I mean, if one of you were to move out of town,
Right, you'd have to.
you'd have to do it anyways. So it's not like it's one of those that, you know, there's not a lot with it, but there is. You know, you're kind of the backup,
Right.
so.
Well, I don't, if we're not ready at this point, is someone interested
You
in?
want to do it, Ernie? I don't really either.
Why don't we'll just wait.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with that, so basically we'll essentially table the secretary position until we have a full board, and then we'll revisit. Because we can't function
We'll
right
re-
now with 2 of us missing anyway, so
Mhm.
I
Correct.
don't think it's necessary. Okay. I think everybody knows us all, but for the sake of it, we got Ashton, myself, Ernie, and Pat. So I've introduced the board members to Tammy, so she knows who we are. And next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from December 15th. It was nice having minutes that went into a little more detail than the minutes that I presented to you the time that I took minutes. It certainly memorializes more of what was discussed at the meeting, which was
Yeah.
nice.
Which is what you'd need to be looking at, you know, going forward,
Well,
or if it came back.
right. I mean, for me, I will speak for myself, because I think I'm the oldest here. Maybe not. Ernie and I might be close.
I don't think you are.
Oh, Ernie, anyway, so I'll say that my memory isn't the best anymore. So it's like, when there's some minutes to look back on and jog my memory,
Yeah,
it
sure.
it can't help but hurt. So I've read through the minutes. I mean, I think you can always question this or question that to some extent. But for me, the majority of it was complete and left me understanding what we talked about at the meeting. Was there anyone that had any questions or concerns?
I move we accept the minutes as printed.
There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Any second?
Got a second from Mr. Cotton. Do we have any further discussion? We're ready for a vote. All in favor of the minutes? Minutes approved, 4-0.
Thank you.
Now, Tammy has got us the packet submission information packet. Did I get that right? Board of Appeals packet submission information page, I guess it is.
Yeah, the front cover I provided to you, and I also paper clipped it to the existing application that people are using. On it, you will notice I've already started to make some changes to it.
Okay.
Simply because numbers have changed on the application. But what you need to approve is the cover sheet for the administrative appeal.
So that's Town of Berwick Administrative Appeal, this sheet here that I'm looking at.
Yep.
Where it says fee, That's the first thing. B?
Yes.
This one
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
okay? Now, have we seen this before? Yes, we've seen
Yeah,
this before.
oh, yeah.
We've
Yeah.
looked at this. Just want to
Yeah,
make sure I'm on the same page
James had
here.
made the changes for you, and then I came on board and you had looked at it once and you said, well, let's take another look at it. So hence now it's back,
Okay,
so.
since you haven't been on board for this, did you notice any glaring issues that you think we should look at in this? Might as
Not
well
really.
try to get it right the first time rather than
Yeah.
having to.
This document right here is just a form that you're gonna be added to the application. You know, and you're proving that, yes, you're gonna add it to go with the application. It's not, there's nothing on it that doesn't mean it can't be changed next month. If
Right.
the board says, no, we're gonna raise the fee to $200. So, yep, we go in, you accept it, we
And then we
make the
just
change.
Make a motion and approve the new cover.
Yep,
It also helps the person who's appealing, they know what's gonna happen.
correct. Yep,
And that's what I think when we talked about it the first time, the first one we went through, it seemed like, they kept saying, well, we wish we'd have known this, or we wish we'd have known that, and,
Didn't we make changes in that first paragraph, the order of things or something? Seems like I remember that.
yes,
That's
let's see what
where
it
we-
says, you know. Unfortunately, I have to admit that,
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember
But
either.
it seems, when I look at the last sentence, I'm thinking that that's how we ended it, but I don't know. Or maybe we were gonna move it, right? I don't remember anymore.
I don't know, I read this and I think it reads fine, the way it is.
the only thing, because we have issues with people submitting a complete packet, you might want that part in the first paragraph. A day, you know, something to the effect of a delay could take place if the application is not complete when submitted.
Right.
And that's, Pat, what you had talked about, Pat, with your drawing.
Yeah, well, that's
Type of thing.
complete, and also, is that considered complete? That it's a lousy drawing? I mean, it's a drawing, but it's not a drawing that, drawn to scale and that kind of thing that they ask for, so.
How about an accurate one? We use the word accurate, either that or professionally done. I mean,
It doesn't
that's the
have
only
to
way
be
you're gonna get
professional.
more accurate. Yeah.
No, I mean, it tells them in there what they have to do, but they just don't do it.
Right.
Right, exactly. And I think maybe what you're saying is there could, I mean, and so let's just kind of go over that a little bit. If we get to if we don't think say, it could be just one of us, say I look at this and I don't think the drawing's accurate, Tammy. Do we come to the meeting and then say the drawing's not accurate? What is our process to provide comments back to the applicant? We've maybe scheduled a hearing, now we see all the information and we don't think it's complete. Do we still go to the hearing and then tell them it's not complete?
If you doubt the diagram that they provide you, the scale or the picture,
Right?
you can always request, as the chair, a site walk. And that will clarify a lot of things.
Previous to the meeting, of course.
Not so much previous to the meeting, the same night as the meeting.
Same night as the meeting.
Right.
Okay.
So the chair is the one I'm gonna be contacting.
Mhm.
So it'll be
Right.
Rick. So a new application comes in, and the scale is so small, I can't even see it, even with big readers. So hence, I show it to Rick, and I'll say, okay, would you like to have a site walk? If he has no idea where the property is, of course he's gonna say yes. Even if he knows where it is, because you have a new member, you might also wanna have a site walk. That's something that can be scheduled when we decide when the meeting's gonna be held. Because Rick gave me dates for December, so then I reached out to everybody. So hence, if he says we're gonna do a site walk also, when I text you or email you, I will ask, would you be available for a site walk at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon or something, or Friday afternoon? And if you're not, That's what you say, is you're not available, we'll pick another date.
After the first experience that we had, which was last year, 2021, it wasn't a year ago, but that was one of the things that we mentioned, that site, a site walk or a site review, however you want to call it, is, I wouldn't say it's totally necessary, but there may be a good precedent to set that we do have that if we have any questions at all about the application that
Yep.
you receive, or,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna follow up a little bit. If any of the board members are uncomfortable, just come to me and tell me that you're uncomfortable and you would like a site walk, and then what Tammy's saying, rather than the four of us all talking to her,
Go to
come to
you.
me,
Yeah.
then we'll go
Go
through
through the
Tammy,
chain
and
to
it's,
me, and-
so I don't have to call for the site walk. If I've got someone on, one of you four that are not comfortable and you want a site walk, just call me, and then I'll go through Tammy so that we can have it scheduled. That
Although
way,
I-
there's not four of us all talking
Yeah,
to Tammy.
although I don't like, the drawing that, I don't know, are we allowed to say the drawing that we got?
No.
Okay.
You just
The-
have to
Some
use
drawings that we've
general
gotten in the past are so incomplete that I would not want to go right before the meeting and try to understand the drawing from the meeting, because we would have to be out there with tape measures and all sorts of stuff, because none of that was supplied.
Now,
So,
something to remember, it is up to the applicant to provide the information.
Oh, fair
If
enough.
they have to provide the proof, so you don't go out with tape measures.
no, but what I mean is, if you, what I understood you to say is if we have the site visit right before the meeting, then we would be able to understand, well, no, we wouldn't, because we still don't have the dimensions.
And if that's the case, when you get to the meeting, you'll say, you need to provide us with a better,
right.
a
Okay.
better survey.
So really
And that's why
then-
she's saying if we clarified in the paragraph to say
Yeah.
that if it's incomplete, then it could
Correct.
delay the
Yeah.
proceeding, because we get here, we've looked it all over, and we determined that it's not adequate.
Right.
Then we're gonna need more information to make this decision. So
Mhm.
it's
We're
their
requesting
call.
a site, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I
Bert?
I don't want to be put in a position to go to a site visit right before
Right.
the thing, and right
And
before
not
our
be
meeting.
comfortable with the drawing
and
to even know
still not
what
know
I'm
what's
doing.
going on.
Right.
You know, then you have to say in front of the applicant, which is fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but, you don't feel like it's complete, but.
I'm gonna ask something though, Tammy, because I would think this is basically the second time the town will have seen this sketch, because I'm guessing is that they come to the town for a permit, they would have had to provide the sketch to the town, so I think hopefully it gets, I think in this case it wasn't, because it was something that was almost grandfathered, that's why we got the sketch, we potentially got a sketch that wasn't so good, but if it's gone through the right process and they're appealing a code enforcement decision on a permit,
That's
that
key.
code officer would already have seen that, and hopefully it's been adequate for the code officer, and if not, when we have the chance to speak with the code officer at the hearing, the code officer can provide us the additional information that we might need to help us with that
Right.
sketch as well.
Yeah.
So, do we want to put something in that first paragraph? Now,
Purpose.
how do we want, I mean, this is where the process, this right now doesn't appear when they get an application?
Yes, this will go with their application.
This will, but right now there
Cover
isn't
sheet.
one, or is this the first time this is gonna be
This is
given to
gonna
them?
be used the first time whenever somebody comes forward after you approve it. They have not received this before.
Okay, so, because we don't have another meeting scheduled, do we want to, can we approve, what wording would you like to see on there? I'm guessing, say, if we could agree with the wording that Tammy's gonna put on there, we can probably approve it tonight, subject to that change, and then you can go ahead and get it done. If we don't, then we're gonna basically have to wait till the next meeting to approve it, because we won't have seen it yet.
Right.
So you could say where it says the appellant has the burden of proof, and also the burden to provide a complete application.
Okay. So
Yeah, that would, yeah.
the
That would
appellant has the
include
burden of
sketches,
proof
measurements.
and
Maximal function.
the burden of providing a complete,
To provide,
And the burden to provide a
to provide,
complete
okay.
application.
To provide, okay.
And if you want me to bold it, I can bold it. If you want me to underline it, I can underline it.
Do we want to say in parentheses or something like that? An incomplete application could delay, something like that, just so that they're fully, I don't know, I'm just
Make it-
asking.
Make it a following sentence. If the application is deemed incomplete, it will delay the process.
There we go, I like
Oh,
that,
yeah,
so it's
that's
clear
good.
to them.
Just to play devil's advocate, if I'm an applicant and I read that and I see the word complete, but I'm not sure what a complete application is,
it tells you in here what it is.
And I
It's on the
think,
application.
right,
but the town is also good about, you know, they can go to the town and the town will provide them help.
Some
to-
coaching.
To get it,
Right.
Some coaching.
right,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
Like, when I looked at it, I told the attorney that the diagram was not adequate. The attorney knew that.
And he chose to,
Just
rather than
ignore.
put it, right, move ahead, right,
Move ahead.
gotcha.
And when we sent it back, he brought it back 2 weeks later and said it goes as is.
Right.
There's not much I can do.
Well,
You know,
Right.
at that point, then
Yeah,
it
they
becomes
say.
the board's decision.
sure. And I think that's what, whereas we're developing as a board and as we get more comfortable with the town members or the town employees, we'll have a better feel for how that all works. But
Correct.
I think it's gone reasonably well so
Yeah,
far, but we're just
definitely.
only gonna get more comfortable.
Yep.
All right, so then, if the application is deemed incomplete, then
It will delay the process.
it will delay. So, I think we're looking at, if I've got this right, a motion to approve the presented Town of Berwick Administrative Appeal document with the following addition, and the burden to provide a complete application is, and then if the application is deemed incomplete, then it will delay the process. Did I get that correct, Tammy?
I believe that's what I've got written down, yep.
Perfect. So that's the motion I'm looking for, is to approve this with that following amendment.
Make a motion to approve that with the additions.
All right? Do I have a second?
I second it.
So we have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Good, we've got business done. I like that. My glasses are fogging up, Ernie. Must be blowing too hard here through my mask.
And that-
All right, so that gets all old business done, as far as I see on the agenda. We have additional informational items. Was that yours, Tammy? Do you
Yep,
have something
I
for
have
us?
2 pieces of information for you.
Great.
So we have critical dates for the town referendum. So if you want to change something in the Board of Appeals bylaws, how you operate, you might want to change something here, something there. The time you meet, you might want to move to 6 o'clock as opposed to 6:30.
I see.
You might want to change a definite Thursday night to possibly the convenience of the board.
I see. So this is our time to decide when we want to
Correct.
meet, basically.
Correct.
And if we're comfortable meeting on the second Wednesday, I believe that's what it is, Ernie, right?
And
Yes.
and for a general meeting, yes. For a case meeting, it might be a third Wednesday or a fourth Wednesday.
Depending on what the time frame.
Exactly. So you could alleviate trying to have a motion made to change the date for the one meeting and just put it at the convenience of the board with trainings and workshops to be held on the second Wednesday of the month.
I like that.
Something to that effect,
Mhm.
okay?
Yes, yes.
So that can be discussed later on, because I have some ordinance things I want you to also look at. Okay?
Okay, now,
But-
if we did have that date set and it was convenient, can we still have a public hearing on that date?
Mhm.
So basically, but pretty much just sets that date as something that we
As the
potentially
general-
could meet, and
Correct.
everyone has our schedule around it, and if the hearing fit into that time frame, we wouldn't have to reschedule it for a different date.
Correct.
Can't we just go with that and say it?
No, because it depends on, if somebody was to give me a case like last week,
Mhm.
we would not have been able to meet this week, because I couldn't have done the notices, I couldn't have found
Did it-
out, because I have 30 days to schedule it, and it takes me 2 weeks to get the papers notified and the letters out. Hence, you couldn't meet on the second Wednesday, you would not have been able to meet tonight.
Well,
We wouldn't have met
with
the
a
time
case.
frame.
We could have met for this purpose.
Yes,
but
Correct.
just not
exactly.
for the.
Just not for
People
the
do
public
address-
hearing.
So I
address
thought
that.
if we can, do you want to just keep this meeting date, like you said?
Like she said, for the workshops,
And
and then if it
training
fits,
or-
it
And if it
fits.
fits the public hearing, otherwise we
Right.
schedule another one.
Yep.
More of an
Correct.
administrative meeting.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to just do that so we don't have to revisit it.
I agree.
Mhm.
Well, you still have to revisit it, because you can't do the ordinance, because it's not on the agenda, that's part of the workshop. So your bylaws, we can tweak, there's a couple of other tweaks you might want to think about in there.
Oh, it's part of the workshop part, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So instead of having the what-if workshop that Jenny was gonna help you with, which I could have done, but I know she had specific things
Right.
in mind.
Okay,
Because I now had the referendum dates, I said, let's get some of the ordinances out of the way. The ordinance changes that could potentially affect you folks. So that's what the workshop is on tonight. So if we want to meet in 2 weeks to review it, so we can make sure we get it to the planning board, and then the planning board can vote on it and get it to the Board of Selectmen in time. So it'll go before the warrants and beyond the warrants,
gotcha.
and it can be a community vote. I don't want to delay, I don't want to take and put all the changes to the ordinances on a special meeting, on a special vote.
I don't either. I
Because you
don't,
never get enough people to come out and actually look at what they're voting at.
well, and I think people start to think we're doing something slippery. You know, we're trying to slide something through, where if it's
Correct.
during the regularly scheduled vote, everyone's gonna be more
Yep.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have to do anything?
These dates are just for your information
Okay.
purposes, okay? They provided it to me, and I said, oh my goodness, this is gonna be wonderful for them to have.
Okay, so by February 17th, we have to propose our changes.
Correct.
Okay,
The rest of it continues on from there, but that's the date we have
to
to.
get it into the
Yeah.
process.
Now, if we wanted to schedule a workshop after you do your workshop tonight, you know, we can leave that option out there. I can
Right.
reach out to you, say, hey, can we do a workshop to get the
Right.
things changed? Or do a meeting and do the final changes and then vote on it? Because you can't vote on any of this stuff at a workshop. You have to have a regular
Regular
meeting.
meeting.
So, and we still have one meeting left before the planning board has to get the information.
Right, we'd have our second Tuesday in February.
In February.
And
Correct.
tell me again what we are able to change? I mean, we're not looking at changing the land use ordinance.
No,
We're
I'm-
looking at changing what?
Tonight, I want to talk to you about your bylaws. But if you notice something in the land use ordinance, you can make a suggestion to the planning board.
Right,
This is what we'd like to see changed. Would you consider it?
right. And then it's up to them to
Correct.
decide,
Yeah.
Okay.
You made the suggestion, hopefully they will listen,
right?
because you're the one ultimately getting something that happens from that decision that they make.
Right.
So,
Ernie?
I have a question, that goes back, we discussed that if we feel that a application is not complete, then we can call for a site visit. But my question is, we could call for a site visit even if it is complete.
Yeah,
just
you
to
still
get
can.
more
Yes.
information
Yep.
for ourselves.
So you can actually visualize what they're trying to
Exactly,
do.
and I just want that
Yes.
understood,
Sure, absolutely.
because that was the missing piece.
That, right,
That-
in the past,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, sounds good. So we don't need to act on that, this is just
Nope.
more for our information.
Just for your information,
Perfect.
and it'll play into the workshop, but I wanted you to have the official date at a meeting.
Right.
And the other little piece of paper that I gave you, in the past, I have shot out a text to planning board, zoning board of appeals members saying, please check your emails, so that you know something has come in. So if I could get your information and I can double check your email, I can then get you under the right emails. I think I've got your email squared away now, but I
You
want
just want to
double-
update it, just to make sure
Correct,
you got
I
all the right
just-
information. So you just want us to
correct.
fill all this stuff out?
And the first time I send out a test email, test text, it'll say, hi, this is Tammy. In parentheses, probably ZBA. So you'll have my phone number. You can either text it back, thank you, text it to me directly, because I'll have all of your information in my phone. I do not send information out regarding a case coming up before you. This is just the information to get you to check your email. I know you probably all check it on a regular basis, but the one time I don't let you know and you don't check it could be our downfall. And this is just kind of my little safety net to make sure that we've got everything in line and ready to go.
Well, you're not gonna get my cell phone, Tammy, because I'm a dinosaur and I don't have one.
Okay. Well, yours goes to your work email, right?
Yes, it does.
So you see it on a regular basis?
Every day, yeah.
Okay.
And you can always, my wife's retired, she's home most of the time, and we have an answering machine too. So if it was necessary to call me, my home phone would work just fine. While we're filling out this information, I'll mention to you that I do have a flip phone that's ancient, and my wife got after me to take it to the land, because we own some land on Diamond Hill, and I usually go up there and like mow and stuff like that. She goes, take that phone in case you get hurt. So, take the phone, I leave it in my truck. I'm stepping off the trailer to my truck, taking the lawnmower off, stuck my foot through it's like metal ramp, but
Yep.
it was big enough to get my foot through. So I'm falling backwards over the
Mower-
back of the
mower
truck
coming after me.
with the mower coming right with me, and I'm thinking, I hope the gap in this is big enough that I'm gonna land on my side before it comes up tight onto my leg, because you got no, I mean, it's free fall at that point in time.
Right.
Yeah.
And did I hit hard? Because of course I'm thinking about my foot the whole time, not bracing it, and phone in the truck, so if I'd have broken my leg, it wasn't gonna do me any good at
Gotta
all. I
be
said,
on your
honey,
person."
that phone's sitting right there in the table, because it's not gonna do me any good sitting in the truck.
Well, unless
Well,
you're wearing
you've
it.
gotta,
Right, and I
wear it.
I don't wear it, so it's like,
Well-
whether it's on the table at the house or.
Start practicing.
Yeah, it's a lot less distance to crawl, to the truck versus the next house.
Well, I got Matt and Anna and Ben now that live up there beside, on Carolyn. At
Right,
that
good.
time, both places were empty.
Oh,
The
right.
trailer was abandoned and the house was under foreclosure, so there wasn't anybody up there. I would have been hollering for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're older, you have to take those precautions. I mean,
She
we're starting
reminds
to
me.
do that all the time now.
Every time I
Glad to
go
do it.
someplace. All right, Tammy, I'll
Right.
collect these here. Oh, we'll pass them that way and we'll put them right there.
And I'll grab them as soon as we adjourn the meeting.
Here's a paper
Oh.
clip here, Ernie. Oh, Ernie's gonna bring it over to you.
Look, there's a-
Oh.
What a good guy.
The ballots are in.
Thank you so very much, folks.
You're very welcome.
And
Thank you for
every once in a while,
Initiating those kinds of things, can save us a lot of problems, that's for sure.
Yep. And every once in a while, I'll have to mail you something, and I don't know how your properties are listed. If you're married, maybe your wife's name is first, your name won't show up until I go through all of them and pull you up. If the husband's name is first, then your name will come up first so I can find you. But
Look at mine, would you change it from Rick to Russell then? Because it's not coming up as Rick. It's Rick, it's Russell and Marnie, and you're not gonna see Rick at all.
okay.
I don't know why, but that's just the nickname I
Mine-
got.
Mine would be Ernest, as opposed to Ernie.
Right.
ERNEST?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
And then, do you mind giving us your stuff now so we can just put it in our phone? Is that, your phone, is that, actually, we have your email, right? Do we
You have my email,
do you
correct?
want- Are you giving out your phone, or just we gonna go by email?
Nope, I can take and give it to you, not a problem. I'll use the empty form that I've got right here. Do you want my last name too, just in case? Nobody knows my last name. but-
Bowden,
Her application's not complete.
Yep. I
And we'll have to
people I've
delay the
worked
meeting,
with.
Ernie.
I worked with them for over 5 years before they ever figured out what my last name was, because I always sign everything Tammy.
Right.
I send a phone message out, it says Tammy. I send an email, it says Tammy. You know, so,
Right.
Am I supposed to pass this on here?
Awesome, now do we have any additional items on the additional items list, Tammy?
not that I have.
All right. Does any other member of the board have anything that they're aware of? If not, then I'll have a motion to adjourn the meeting, and we'll go into a workshop after we finish the public portion of this.
I have nothing else.
We all set? Motion to adjourn?
Seconded?
All right, all those in favor? We're adjourned at 7:06, it looks like.
All right, hit your gavel, please.
Hit the gavel. And then you said something.
Yes, we need to wait until that goes up.
Right. So if you need to get up and go to the restroom or something like that, or walk for a minute, then once we're off the air, we'll go into the workshop session.
Recording stopped.